The diner was quiet in the way small American towns get on weekday afternoons. Neon lights hummed. Coffee cups clinked. Outside, the wind pushed dust across an empty parking lot. Inside, a woman sat alone near the window, hands wrapped around a mug she hadn't touched. Her name was Emily Carter. She wore a faded black jacket with a small gold pin on the collar. It wasn't flashy. Most people didn't notice it, but anyone who knew. The pin marked her as a Gold Star widow. Her husband, Sergeant Daniel Carter, had died overseas 5 years earlier. Emily didn't talk about it. She didn't want sympathy. She just wanted peace. The bell over the diner door jingled. A man walked in with loud boots and louder confidence. Late 40s, clean jacket, sharp haircut. The kind of man who thought the room owed him respect the second he entered. His name was Rick Holloway, and he thrived on attention the way fire loves oxygen. Rick scanned the diner, spotted Emily, and smirked. He slid into the booth across from her, without asking. "Didn't think they let people like you sit alone anymore," he said, voice thick with mock politeness. Emily stiffened. "I'm waiting for my order," she replied calmly. Rick's eyes dropped to the gold pin. His smile twisted. "Oh," he said, "military wife?" She nodded once. "Widow." Rick leaned back. Figures. Always playing the victim. Always want special treatment. The air shifted. A few heads turned. The waitress froze behind the counter. Emily's hands trembled slightly, but her voice stayed steady. "Please leave me alone." Rick laughed. "Why?" Truth hurt. He leaned closer. "My cousin served. Came back just fine. Maybe your husband wasn't strong enough." Silence slammed into the diner, like a door kicked open. Emily's breath caught. Her eyes glistened, but she didn't cry. Not here, not in front of him. Rick wasn't done. He raised his voice. "Taxpayers pay for your pity checks," he announced. "And for what?" A flag and a sob story. That was when the first engine growled outside. Low, heavy, controlled. No one noticed at first. Rick certainly didn't. He was enjoying himself too much. Emily stood up slowly. "You don't know what you're talking about." Rick stood too, towering over her. "I know this country doesn't owe you anything." The waitress finally spoke. "Sir, you need to leave." Rick scoffed. "Or what?" The diner door swung open again. Another engine joined the first. Then another. The windows vibrated softly. Rick glanced outside, annoyed. What is this? A circus? Emily turned her head slightly toward the sound. Her expression changed. Confusion, then concern. The parking lot was filling with motorcycles. Harleys, Indians, old war horses polished with care. One by one they rolled in, forming a wide half-circle around the diner. 35 bikes, 35 riders, leather vests, military patches, unit insignias, names stitched over hearts, many with gray in their beards, some missing fingers. One man walked with prosthetic leg, moving without shame. They didn't rush. They didn't shout. They parked, shut off engines. The sudden silence felt heavier than noise. Rick swallowed. What the hell? The diner door opened. A tall biker stepped inside. His vest red iron Val MC. Beneath it, a faded Marine Corps tattoo stretched across his forearm. He looked at Rick, then at Emily. "Ma'am," he said gently, "are you being harassed?" Rick laughed nervously. "This has nothing to do with you." The biker's eyes hardened. "Everything that happens to her has something to do with us." More boots stepped inside. 5, 10, 15. They spread out calm but unmovable. Emily whispered, "Please, I don't want trouble." The biker nodded. "Neither do we." Rick's bravado cracked. "You bikers think you own the place?" The leader stepped closer. "No." He leaned in, voice low. "We protect what matters." Outside, another engine roared briefly, then cut. Rising tension pressed against the walls. Rick backed toward the door. "This is intimidation." The biker smiled without warmth. "No, son." Rick shoved past a biker and stormed outside, his face red with rage and fear. He pulled out his phone with shaking hands. "You think you scare me," he yelled. "I know people." The bikers didn't follow. They waited, watching, silent. Emily stood frozen inside, heart pounding. The waitress whispered, "Who are they?" The biker leader answered softly, "Veterans." Outside, Rick dialed frantically. "Sheriff? Yeah, it's Holloway. I got a gang threatening civilians." Minutes passed. Engines stayed quiet. No one moved. Then sirens approached. A sheriff's cruiser rolled in fast, followed by a second. Deputies stepped out, hands near their belts. The lead deputy was Sheriff Alan Crow. Rick's smile returned instantly. "About time," Rick said. "These thugs harass me." Crow eyed the bikes, then the vests. His jaw tightened. "What's going on?" Crow asked. Rick pointed at the diner. They surrounded the place. Intimidation. Threats. Crow turned to the biker leader. "Is that true?" The biker removed his helmet slowly. Gray hair. Scarred face. Calm eyes. "No, sir," he said. "We responded to a distress situation." Crow snorted. "Distress?" Emily stepped outside before anyone could stop her. "He humiliated my husband," she said, voice shaking. "He mocked his death." Rick spun toward her. "Liar." The biker leader stiffened. "She's a Gold Star widow." Crow hesitated. For a moment, something like shame crossed his face. Then it vanished. "I don't see a crime," Crow said coldly. The bikers murmured. Low, controlled, angry. The leader stepped forward. "Disrespecting the fallen is a crime to us." Crow's eyes narrowed. "Careful." That was when another biker rolled forward on a blacked-out motorcycle. He removed his helmet, revealing a young man with a burn scar along his neck. "Sheriff Crow." The biker said, "Do you remember Fallujah?" Crow stiffened. "I don't know you." The biker smiled grimly. "You left us there." The air snapped tight. "This man," the biker continued, pointing at Crow, "was our convoy commander. He falsified reports, took bribes, left wounded men behind." Rick stepped back. "What is this?" The biker leader nodded. "That's the twist, Rick. The man you call for help? He's dirty." Crow reached for his gun. "That's enough." 35 bikers took one step forward. Not aggressive. United. Emily gasped. Crow's hand froze. "You pull that," the leader said, "and every camera here records who you really are." Phones were already up. Diners. Bystanders. Recording. Rick's face drained of color. "Sheriff." Crow backed away slowly. "This is a setup." The biker with a burned scar stepped closer. "No, this is accountability." He held up a flash drive. Evidence. Names. Payments. Crow turned and ran. He didn't make it 10 steps before federal SUVs screeched into the lot. Doors flew open. Agents moved fast. Efficient. Crow was slammed onto the hood, cuffs snapping shut. Rick screamed, "This is insane." An agent grabbed him, too. "Rick Holloway, you're under arrest for harassment, hate crimes, and obstruction." Rick thrashed, "You can't do this." The biker leader walked past him. "You already did." Emily stood trembling as the chaos settled. Sirens faded. Agents drove off. The parking lot grew quiet again. One by one, the bikers removed their helmets. The leader approached Emily and held out the gold pin Rick had knocked from her jacket earlier. "You dropped this," he said gently. She took it with shaking hands. Tears finally fell. "Why did you help me?" she whispered. The leader smiled softly. "Because no one who gave everything should ever stand alone." The sun dipped low as the bikers prepared to leave. Engines rumbled to life again, not angry now, but steady, purposeful. Emily stood in the parking lot, clutching the pin against her chest. She looked at the 35 men who had stepped between her and cruelty without hesitation. "I don't even know your names," she said. The leader nodded. "You don't need to." She stepped forward and hugged him. It was brief, respectful, and heavy with meaning. "My husband would have been proud," she whispered. The leader swallowed. "So are we." One by one, the bikers saluted her. Not flashy, Not loud, just honest. They mounted their bikes. As they rode out, the town watched in silence. Some with awe, some with shame. Emily returned to the diner. The waitress brought her coffee on the house. Outside, the sound of engines faded into the distance. Justice had been served, not by courts alone, but by loyalty, brotherhood, and honor. Respect isn't given by force. It's earned by standing up when it matters. And evil always loses when good men refuse to stay silent.